The rent is due, and women are looking for men to save them. Women said, guys, we don't want you. Guys, we don't need you. We'd rather the bear. But now they don't want to go hang out with you, Yogi and Boo Boo in the woods. And I bet you that Yogi and Boo Boo will be eating a lot more than just picnic baskets. Today's video comes from the TikTok compilations channel, and their channel will be linked in the description of the video so that you can go and check them out. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of men walking away from relationships and dating, and women now rushing to find a man to save them because the rent is now due. Don't forget to follow us on Rumble. You never really know what can happen on this platform, so go ahead and follow us over there. Our Rumble's linked in the description of the video. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video after a message from Angry's Crypto Academy. And by the way, guys, we have a massive sale still happening. If you missed the Super Bowl sale, you still have time by using any of the links in the description. We have a secret sale going on, so check that out. Now let's jump into the message.
Above their means when they say that $100,000 doesn't do for us what it did for our parents. What we're saying is it doesn't go as far because the cost of housing, the cost of childcare, the cost to live in general has gone up exponentially. I think kids is the best example of this. In the 90s, the average family had 2.5 to 3 kids, and the cost of daycare for like one of those kids was under $10,000. It says around $5,000 to $6,000 a year. The average cost of childcare now in 2023 is $16,000 to $26,000 a year, depending where you live. Where I live, the minimum's like $20,000 per kid per year. Okay, that's huge. That's a huge difference, right? And so they were having 2 to 3 kids. The average family in the US currently is having 1, maybe 2 kids because they can't afford more. And when you look at us and say you're living above your means if you can't make $100,000 work for your family, they're failing to notice that childcare plays a big part in this. The world mostly runs on dual income homes at this point. Most millennial families are a dual income home because they can't afford not to be. And that's partially because of childcare, but partially due to the cost of living and the cost to own a home, right? The average mortgage right now is over $2,000. It's like 2.5 or something like that a month. That's a lot. That's a lot for the average family. And then when you calculate the fact that they are paying $20,000 a year per kid for daycare on top of that, that's more than their mortgage. They're not living above their means when childcare is 50% of their income. And then the pushback is then just stay home with your kids. But if you stay home with your kids, you can't afford your mortgage. You can't afford your mortgage. You can't afford your phone bill and your Comcast or whatever it is that you have. And it's so funny because people will say like, oh, you're living above your means. We didn't have all these things. No, you didn't. But having internet and a phone now is a necessity. You have to have those things to have jobs and to stay connected to the world. Those are things you need. Take out cable. Sure, nobody needs TV. Take the TV away. My internet alone is still over $100 just for internet, right? Your phone bill is going to be $100 to $200 depending on where you live and how many people are on your phone plan. And if you need it for work, it's going to be higher than that. So the cost of living has gone up so much, and specifically with childcare, that we're not living outside of our means. We are scraping by just to pay for our kids to go to daycare so we can work. And then we get to do nothing outside of that. Don't eat. God forbid you ever order out. Like, really? We're supposed to live and suffer? For what? Because on the other side of it, I've definitely also heard a lot of boomers saying, I wish I didn't work my life away. Because the day I retired, I got cancer or I got sick or whatever it might be. Yet they're looking at us and saying, suffer more.
I decided to go into mental health because I actually wanted to help people. But then here I am in my master's, and it turns out that the reason people are doing so bad is because they're having perfectly normal responses to their environment. That environment being poverty and exploitation. And it's like, I don't want to be a therapist because I'm supposed to tell this person that they're not having a perfectly normal response to their horrific environment because of late stage capitalism. It's like if I teach them to cope in this unhealthy, toxic environment, that's just keeping the system as it is. So yeah, I'm not doing too great.
You want to know what's funny, right? The average cost of rent rose up from $2,000 to $3,000, right? And if you're supposed to make 3 times the amount of your rent in order to qualify to be able to rent a place, that means you had to make $9,000 a month, meaning you had to make over $90,000 a year, right? Come here. That means even if you were to make $25 an hour at your job, you still would not be able to afford to stay at a place by yourself. And people are saying, oh, we'll just get a roommate. Nobody likes roommates. And you can't even rely on the roommate to either come up with their half of the rent. And if anything, they're more of a liability. Putting their name on the lease is even more stressful. And notice how we're just talking about renting. We're not talking about getting a house, because virtually that's just impossible at this point. So yes, none of this is fun. Being an adult isn't fun.
I know there's already like thousands of other videos out there about the housing crisis in Canada, but I'm just gonna add to it a little bit more. So I recently moved in with my partner. We are living in a 3-bedroom townhouse in Langley, British Columbia. Langley, British Columbia. I need to specify Langley, not Vancouver. We are an hour at least outside of Vancouver, depending on traffic. And our rent is $3,300 a month. Like no utilities, just $3,300 just for rent. And I was telling this to some of my coworkers today who are a bit older than me, like 10, 15 years older, who either have been living in their place for a while or they own a place. And they were shook. They were shocked. They did not realize that $3,300 a month was the going rate. And actually, we got a good deal. The going rate in our neighborhood of Willoughby is like $3,500 for what we have. I actually have a coworker who lives in Surrey, which is like 25 minutes away, closer to Vancouver. She has like a 3,000 square foot house on like this huge property, and she only pays $2,400 a month for her mortgage because she bought her house like, I don't know, a decade ago. And it is bonkers to me that in Langley, British Columbia, it is $3,300, and that's a good deal, for a 3-bedroom townhouse. And I used to live in Vancouver. I had to move out to Langley because it was cheaper. I couldn't afford Vancouver anymore. And $3,300 is absolutely not affordable. And my partner and I, we make a decent income together. We are a dual income, no kids situation. And to be perfectly honest, we are making within the like $150,000 per year range between the two of us. And don't get me wrong, we can live a decent lifestyle. We are able to pay our bills, we can afford our groceries, we can go out to eat a couple of times a week, but that's it. We can't really do anything else. And I remember growing up thinking, if you had a $150,000 household, you were it. You were making the big bucks, you were making so much money, you could live in luxury. But no, $150,000 salary, it literally just affords us to pay our bills and not worry about if we can afford groceries when we get to the cash register. And it is just so messed up that that is the salary that you need to live a comfortable lifestyle. And not even a luxurious lifestyle, just a comfortable lifestyle, knowing that like we're okay. You should not have to be making $150,000 a year just to feel safe that you can afford groceries. And I need to stress, this is not a major city. This is Langley, British Columbia. This is a small city. Like, it's not Saskatchewan in the middle of nowhere, but it is still not a big city. The cost of living these days is absolutely fucked.
You see, guys, modern women are beginning to wake up and they're beginning to see the writing on the wall that hard times are not coming, hard times are here. They can't afford to survive anymore. A lot of people are facing homelessness and destitution. With Trump back in office, he's already made it very clear that because of all the bad behavior from the homeless people for the last couple of decades, he's not tolerating any business anymore, all right? He's literally on his business. He said they're going to 10 cities, all right? Tyrone 10 cities. And that's it. They're either going to go to jail, either going to be institutionalized, or they're going to go to Tyrone 10 cities. And there's some of you fools who are like, no, he's only talking about the bad homeless people who are not causing problems in society are not going to get arrested. They're not going to 10 city. Okay, so he's just going to let you all sleep on the street or sleep in your car. Let me explain something to you. Over 10 years ago, while I was working on my first postgraduate degree, I ended up without a place to live. And at first I was living in my car, and then my car got repossessed, and then I had nowhere to live, and I was basically just camped out. And it was a horrible experience. And I saw a lot of things. And I was basically unhoused for about 8 months while working on a master's. Okay. And I ended up, getting the master's and going on for another degree after that. But it was a living nightmare. And one of the things I noticed was that a lot of people were professional homeless people. They were on the streets by choice. They had an income, but they wanted to be out there. They were basically passing the buck on to the rest of society and letting everyone else cover the cost of their living. It's quite ridiculous. You might say, well, what do I mean by that? Well, by them choosing to be homeless, they were living on the street, so they would live in tents and so forth, and you know they would live off like the kindness of people, charities, soup kitchens. So someone else would have to prepare their meals for them. Someone else would basically have to do their laundry for them. Someone else would have to clean up their mess. This is the way that they lived, and then whatever a lot of them were receiving checks from the government, SSI or yeah, SSI. And what SSI is basically if you're a brokey and you cannot provide for yourself, you can apply for SSI if you're a United States citizen. I believe. I don't know if permanent residents can get it. Maybe they can, but United States citizens can get it, and you can apply for it. And a lot of people get it, and they get a check, $800 a month. And in many places, at least back in those days, you could find a place to rent for $400, $500 a month. You won't necessarily have a lot of money left over for food. But the thing is, if your rent's like $500 a month, you'll probably be able to qualify for food stamps. So, you can rent a small apartment or, rent a room, get a room, rent a room. And, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be luxury, but you'll have a roof over your head. You'll have a place to go to the bathroom and you can rebuild that way. You can get food stamps. You can pay so you'll have food and, and then you can rebuild your life. Well, these people didn't want that. They basically chose to live on the streets. They chose to live this disgusting, despicable way. And it's because of these people why they're cracking down so hard on homelessness right now. And I keep telling y'all that the smartest thing that for you guys to do right now is not to play games because hard times have arrived. And you're going to witness they're going to, guys, the ATMs are going to stop working. The banks are going to chain up the doors. And the only way that people are going to be able to protect themselves and safeguard their wealth is with crypto. I've told you plenty of times to go and check out Anger's Crypto Academy because we teach you how to buy, sell, trade, and invest in crypto. And we'll tell you exactly which coins will mint you millionaires and how to spot potential coins to invest in. And I've said this, don't miss out on the opportunity. The Academy is linked in the description of the video because right now, guys, we're going to see a massive crash of the economy. Absolutely massive crash of the economy. We have a sale still happening over there. If you missed our Super Bowl sale, you can actually take advantage of that. It's a little secret sale we're doing right now. You can use any of the links in the description of the video to go over there and take advantage of that. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare what's coming. Okay? People were lackadaisical. People were not paying attention. And this is how we ended up in this. Now people are finding out what's going on with USAID, and the Democrats were using it to basically wash their dirty money or wash taxpayer money and move it to themselves. Like there's I heard that Chelsea Clinton, I don't know if it's true. Again, I don't know if it's true, but they're saying that like she got her charity got like $84 million, and then she had like a $10 million wedding. No, $3 million wedding and bought a $10 million luxury mansion, and the media is like trying to say it didn't happen, but then other sites are saying no, it really did happen. You also have people who are flipping out on social media, hearing about this runaway spending. So the government has basically been robbing us blind and living La Vida Loca while everyone else is suffering out here. I forget the name of this economist. I was watching a video by him earlier. I should have downloaded the video. And he basically said something that, what actually what causes prices to go up is government spending. The more money that the government spend, that the government does not actually have to spend, is results in inflation. So when the government is spending more money than it actually is taking in, that leads to inflation, right? And he's like nothing else. So you need to watch what the government is spending money on. And what did the baby boomers do? They just kept on borrowing money endlessly to pay for the things that they wanted. These are a group of very delusional people, and now we're finding out about what the state was doing. The state, everyone was getting their cut except for us, so we were all getting robbed. Like simply put, they stole our futures from us while we were still in diapers. And now you have people who are infuriated when they hear what's going on with when you hear what's going on with USAID. This is the reason why, guys, BRICS is basically a it's a payment platform that runs that utilizes the blockchain. So it is a cryptocurrency based payment platform where various cryptocurrencies will be able to be used to facilitate payments around the world. And then the version of their crypto that it's basically known as the unit that they've proposed, and that'll be used for things like international payments. That may actually be based around XRP, and XRP may also be one of the maybe a crypto that they utilize in conjunction with unit for facilitating international payments, because they're moving away from the dollar. Even Trump is moving away from the dollar. That's the reason why they're establishing why Trump's establishing a $1 trillion crypto reserve, because the dollar is going to die. All right. And as more stuff come out from you about USAID, and I guess I'm telling you, USAID is barely the tip of the iceberg. I want to say it's the tip of the iceberg, but I don't think it's the tip of the iceberg. The tip of the iceberg is like, oh my gosh, like we've reached the peak, but there's so much more. Oh no, I think I think I don't think we've reached the tip of the iceberg yet. I think that we're still waiting for the tip of the iceberg, because like USAID was like $50 billion in theft every year. There's still a lot of money unaccounted for. So Elon's basically going to be investigating the Department of Education, which he said that is now gone, and all of these other departments. And I think that when we look into military, for example, we're going to discover that a lot of money has been funneled through the military to all of these different groups. And we knew that this type of stuff was happening back in the day. We knew it like when we went over to IRAQ, and we thought that they were going over there to get oil. And remember Halliburton and all we need to rebuild the country. We knew, guys, we knew it was just one big, money washing operation. But who knew that it was on this scale at this size? And guys, you're gonna just see people breaking down and lashing out more and more and more as more things come out, because they're trying to stop Elon from auditing the government. And Americans are like, if you're not a far left person, if you're not on the far left, you're like, yeah, Elon, keep on going, boy. Let it. We need to know what these people have been doing, how they've been robbing us blind, and people are pissed off. And guys, I'm telling you, it's going to get bad out there.
Sorry, I apologize for the way I look. I just worked all day. I run my own cleaning business. I am the sole cleaner. It is me. I do everything. I work my ass off to be able to provide for me and my husband. Our kids are grown, moved out. It's hard, you guys. It's hard to want to continue to do what we do. My husband has a business as well, and pay our taxes to a corrupt piece of shit government. It's hard. It's really hard. We owe a big chunk at the end of this month for last year's taxes. A big chunk. Tens of thousands of dollars. A big chunk. And at this point, I'm going to send him something, and it ain't going to be the fucking money I worked my ass off for. So that Angelina motherfucking Jolie's bitch ass can go stand next to fucking Zelensky and take a fucking photo op. Or Ben motherfucking Stiller or Nancy fucking Pelosi. Fuck you. Fuck you all. Fuck, suck a dick. I fucking hate you. I hate the government. I hate celebrities. I fucking hate you. Like, what the actual fuck? We are being fucked, and more fucked every fucking day. And Democrats are on here talking shit about fucking Trump and Elon. You're welcome. You're fucking welcome. Because guess what? Without Trump and Elon, we wouldn't know this, and it would continue to fucking happen. But that's okay, because the big scary orange man isn't in office. Fuck you too. I am so done. Goose Fraba. Fuck everybody who didn't vote for Trump or who isn't supporting this, because you're a piece of shit too.
Yeah, guys. So that was a Gen Xer. And, this is why you don't mess with Gen X. Mess around, find out. Mess around, find out. So, yeah, guys, I've said Gen X is basically the break glass in case of emergency generation. I kept telling y'all, don't mess with these people. Leave these people alone. All right? Gen X is a different type of generation. Gen X is the type of generation that walk through the hood. All right? You ever notice like they're always like sometimes like a group of white people that can walk through the hood, and you're like, who the hell are these white people walk? Back in those days, you sometimes see like what there were certain white people that could just walk through the hood. That was Gen X. They don't care. They don't care. This is leave these people. That's what I keep on warning you. Don't mess with these people. Do you hear how she sounds? This is she went from Becky to Recky very, very quickly. Okay? She sounded like she came straight out of the hood. She sounded like she went from soccer mom white lady to like we're gonna throw down. Like grew up in the hood, we're gonna throw down. Okay? I keep telling y'all the Gen X are the they're the break glass in case of emergency generation. They don't want to wake these people up, and these people are waking up. Hell on earth is coming. Hell on earth is coming. People don't understand Gen X can still fight. A lot of these people can fight better than they could back when they were younger. I'll explain the reason why. Gen X is different. People don't understand Gen X is different. They have experience. They have experience. A lot of them are stronger now than they were. They are stronger now than when they were younger. Do you want me to prove it? I can prove it. All right, I can prove it. Look at guys like Tom Brady. Tom Brady is faster and stronger today, even retired, than when he first started playing football. He can run faster, longer. He is physically stronger than when he first started playing as a young man. This is not a freaking game. Say what you want about LeBron. Okay? LeBron is still playing at a very, very high level. You'd be completely lying to say that LeBron is not playing the way he's always played. He's definitely playing at a higher level than when he first stepped into the league. Okay? And he's a Zennial, or he's within the range. He's someone who was born in the Gen X era. You need to leave, but I'm telling y'all that what the true older Gen Xers, a lot of them, they've been watching all of the crap that's been going on, and they've just been mostly silent, but they're not asleep. They're awake. And when you wake these people up, it is going to be hell on earth. That's why I keep telling y'all, we are broke. The country is broke. It is hell on earth. Modern women are freaking out because the rent is due and they don't know how to pay it. That's another reason you guys need to hurry up and begin investing in crypto, because it's going to begin skyrocketing. There's a specific coin. Everyone should hold at least one of these coins. This coin is the next Bitcoin. It's been around for a long time. Everyone should hold at least just one of these coins. Most of my portfolio is in these coins. When the markets go down, I say thank God and I buy more. I cannot have enough of these coins. And I will not be selling them. Okay? At $1,000 a coin, sorry, sir. No, I'm not selling. And I have a ton. I have a massive amount of them. Massive amount of them. Not going to tell you how many I have. I have a lot. A crap load. And I'm not selling at $1,000. I'm not selling at $1,000. At $10,000 per coin, I might part with a few of them. And that would not even make a massive dent in the number of coins I have. And then the rest, I'm just going to hold them indefinitely. Because, we're going to have, we have ETFs coming. We have ETFs coming, and this coin's already being worked on to be in an ETF. An ETF is basically, it's traded on the stock market, and it can give people exposure to different cryptocurrencies without having to physically hold those coins. So, for example, if you're dealing with like a spot ETF, they have to actually hold those cryptocurrencies in that ETF, and that's something that will allow a lot of people to invest without having to learn how to actually go and buy coins off an exchange. The thing is that for them to actually invest in these coins, the people who own the ETF, who created the ETF, have to actually have the physical coins there. So as more people jump into the ETF, they're going to have to go and get more coins. So I mean, it's going, and even if they don't, it's just going to result in the value of crypto going up exponentially, because no one's, as the ETF value goes up, the coins in the general market also increase. So and no one's going to be selling. So you're going to have a lot of these institutions just paying us just for custody of our coins. Like, hey, let me just hold your coin, because they're going to be doing things like crypto lending. But for them to do crypto lending, they need to have cryptocurrency, and it's going to become so expensive for them to actually buy these coins. They're going to begin borrowing them from people like me and saying, hey, I'll pay you interest. I will pay you interest for this coin, and I have to return your coin to you by a certain period of time, blah 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 blah. And I'm not giving them I don't even know if I'm going to give them a full coin. I've got tons of them. Now I'm going to be greedy as hell. Now I'm going to be greedy as hell. This is the time to be greedy. All right. There's a saying where when everyone is buying, that's when you should be selling, and that's when everyone is selling, that's when you should be buying. With these coins, with our crypto investments, these are long-term holds. Like I may never sell. We actually we talk about what coin this is, and there's a bunch of different coins as well that have a lot of massive potential, but there's a specific coin that, let's just say, it's its own form of gold. Let me ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy, to teach you everything you need to know about crypto, so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom. It's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now.
The cost of living in the US is only going to get higher. It will never be lower. And it's simply because all the companies that run the US want to make their money. Within the next 10 years, US citizens won't even be able to buy a house anymore. All the houses are going to be bought by most likely hedge funds or people who are doing it right now, and it's going to become a renter's nation. Also, inflation is going to be higher, and the US dollar is going to be worth less as well. There's absolutely no way the US will ever fix itself. It's already too far gone. Nobody's going to be able to survive in the US in about the next 10 years. A lot of people will be very, very poor. There's going to be no middle class either. It's going to be the ultra rich, and then everyone else will be poor. That's it. The middle class is not going to exist in the next 10 years. And it's sad it's going to be that way, but the people who run the US are companies, and they run everything for profit. All the politicians are bought. They're all lobbied by these massive companies. So people who think, oh, you know, these politicians are working for us or this or that, oh, they can help us fix things. That's never going to happen. These companies are going to buy out these politicians like they've always done, and that's just the way it's going to be. Cost of living is going to get much, much higher than it is now. It's the reason why a lot of people are leaving the US, because they can't afford to live there anymore. So other countries are now more appealing.
I just bought a week's worth of groceries, fully insulated my house with the highest quality asbestos, and took my family of 17 to the local taxpayer subsidised blackface show, all for 32 cents. I just spent my life savings on a carrot.
I mean, guys, you think it's a joke, but it's the reality, which is one of the reasons why I keep telling you guys that you should also learn how to do crypto day trading. So crypto day trading, you can basically spend like an hour a day just doing very basic day trading. We have actually a thing called the crypto day trading blueprint. We teach you how to do day trading, and it's very, very simple, very, very easy. We teach you the most basic strategies. You're just like doing things like essentially providing things like liquidity, and you can make easily a couple $100s a day doing this. And it's a great way of it's an important skill to have, so that when the floor falls out and there are no jobs, you lose your jobs, you can't do your door dashing anymore, you will be able to survive, because you're not going to be able to compete with a lot of the people who are coming from other countries that are doing these jobs as well. They are happy to take $10, even $5 an hour. You're going to be like, what, 5 or 10? What am I supposed to do with that? But for them, it's different. It's sad, but it's true. I just want to tell you a little bit about the Crypto Trading for Dummies blueprint. With this blueprint, you'll learn how crypto day trading can help you earn daily profits, even starting small. Imagine making $30 a day with $100, or even hundreds daily trading small amounts. Working just an hour a day. It's written so simply that even a fifth grader can do it. With banks collapsing and the economy in chaos, this skill is your lifeline. Click the link in the description to check it out now. Now, I also was talking about where does inflation actually where does inflation actually come from? What actually causes inflation? Guys, let me tell you something. Inflation is hidden taxation. One of the greatest economists ever told us about this like 50 years ago. All right.
Is made in Washington because only Washington can create money. And any other attribution to other groups of inflation is wrong. Consumers don't produce it. Producers don't produce it. The trade unions don't produce it. Foreign sheiks don't produce it. Oil imports don't produce it. What produces it is too much government spending and too much government creation of money and nothing else.
And who did this? The boomers, who are trying to convince us that it's a lie. They are the wealthiest generation in the history of the world. They own 80% of the stock market. They own 50% of all the real estate in the United States. And roughly half of every tax dollar collected is spent to subsidize the boomers. And that's increasing by the day. And then they're telling us that they earned it all and that we should not be talking about them because they want to silence us. No, we should be worried. We should be looking at other people. We're being played against one another, and that's how you get controlled opposition and all this other BS. They are the ones who control us. Like, even when it comes to BlackRock and these investment firms that have been pushing DEI, who are the ones that own the vast majority of BlackRock shares? Who are the ones who own BlackRock? Who are the ones who run the damn company? Who are the people who founded the damn company? It's the boomers. They own it. They operate it. They're the creators of all of these policies. Why do they do this? They do this so that it can spread destruction and destruction and division and create chaos, and then they can take and that leads to crises. And there's a saying, never let a good crisis go to waste. All they're doing is manufacturing problems. This is who the boomers are. All right. grandma and grandpa, they love their Ponzi schemes. It's just one scheme after another scheme after another scheme as they try to gaslight everyone into believing that they're not guilty or responsible for anything that they have done in society. I tell you, this is one of the reasons why I just don't like Gen Zers, because you can see the boomers written all over them. The person that you guys just heard from, by the way, his name is Milton Friedman, and he passed away back in 2006. He was born in 1912, passed away back in 2006. He lived a pretty long time. He lived until he was 94 years old. But what's interesting is he was an American economist and statistician who received the 1976 Nobel Memorial Prize in economic science for his research on consumption analysis, monetary history and theory, and the complexity of stabilization policy. Right. And with George Stigler, Friedman was among the intellectual leaders of the Chicago School of Economics, a neoclassical school of economist thought. So he is widely considered to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, economist who ever lived. And this is where he said this, guys. He said this like 50 years ago. He told us where inflation came from. All right. It's manufactured in Washington when you start basically printing more money than you're taking in. And what have the boomers been doing? They've basically been paying for they've been paying for everything that they want using our futures. They stole our futures from us while we were still in diapers. And of course, I'm going to hear from these people. All right, because they're just like Gen Z, and they want to silence people. The thing about Gen Z are basically just a more broke version of the boomers. Thank God Gen Zers will never. It's unlikely. Stranger things have happened, but thank God that they're probably going to be one of the poorest generations to ever walk the face of the earth, so that they won't have the finances to do great evil like the boomers did. But they're very much like the boomers. Very, they lie. They lie. They're very deceptive, and you really can. And the center of their lives is money. And if you talk about just how terrible their behavior is, they'll just flip it back at you and say, "And whose fault is that? You raised us. Like, we raised you to be a bunch of punks and lazy and miserable and disrespectful. Well, you could have done a better job. You're a bunch of iPad kids terrorizing society. Oh yeah. Well, who gave us those iPads? I cannot stand these kids. I just don't like them. And guys, every single day something new is coming out from Dodge, letting us know the crap that is going on. Like I said, we haven't even reached the tip of the iceberg yet. The tip of the iceberg is still coming. All right. I don't know what the grand finale will be, but it's like One Piece where we had Alabasta, and we thought Alabasta was like the tip of the iceberg. Like, oh my gosh, the Alabasta arc is so amazing. Luffy just took down Crocodile. This is peak One Piece. This is the tip, And then you're like, no, bro, that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? Really? That wasn't even the tip of the iceberg, bro. That was not even the tip of the iceberg. There was so much more. All right. I think the tip of the iceberg was when what's his name? May have been when Luffy's brother Ace passed away. But maybe like that you could say was the tip of the iceberg. But are some of the other revelations that came, and I think that's kind of where we're heading. Like, oh, we're coming up on the tip of the iceberg. We have not gotten it there when we basically hear even more of the crazy things that have been happening and the insane spending what's been going on for decades and decades, all brought to us by the baby boomers.
It's just in from the Department of Government Efficiency. In the past 48 hours, Health and Human Services has canceled 62 contracts worth $182 million. The contracts were entirely for administrative expenses, to include $168,000 contract for an Anthony Fauci exhibit at the National Institute of Health Museum. I would like all of the income taxes that I've paid since I've been alive and working to be returned to me ASAP.
Guys, we have been screwed so hard. And what they're notice the Democrats, they're not basically refuting anything that's happening. They're just fighting to prevent people from finding out. All right. So, I mean, unless they can stop Elon and Trump, and these two are moving at rapid speed, and they have a. It's clear that they can try to use the courts all they want, but right now this is guys, they're putting deep state front and center. Like I'm telling y'all, we're going to see in the future now where like there are going to be books, like it's going to be a normal thing now going forward for people to discuss the deep state. All right, like it's going to be a like like before it was like, oh, deep state, there's a thing called the deep state. It's going to become a normal thing now where people, like, after all of these things keep on coming out, everyone's going to say, yeah, so this really was the deep state. We literally have our evidence right here. People like Pelosi, Schumer, they were all stealing from everyone. They were rigging everything. They were getting special, for example, their kids commit crimes, nepotism, all of that crap. Look at Hunter Biden. There's a different set of rules for you, and there's a different set of rules for them. All right. And it's going to become a normal thing to the, like, literally, like, you would find it in the textbooks. Like, and don't be surprised if Trump, like, orders, like, finds a way to get this into the textbooks, like, or into the curriculum, where children have to be taught about the deep state in school, or they start doing it in places like Texas and so forth. And now, and of course, liberal, they could try to refute it, but it doesn't matter. It's out there. And again, people, many of them will probably end up having to plead guilty for committing crimes or something along the lines, because I don't see everyone getting away. While some big ones might get away, there's going to be a lot of peons that get what's coming to them. The people who are involved in this, who are still stealing information, that were washing this dirty money so that these politicians could get their handouts, like food stamps. Yeah, a lot of these people are probably going to end up in prison. Pam Bondi is not playing games. Then there's the whole Diddy revolution thing. There's the whole Diddy list thing, and then the whole Jeffrey thing. So because we're waiting for the Jeffrey list, we're waiting for the Diddy list, we're waiting for the guys. We're also waiting for the whole MK thing. So we're waiting for the MK files to come out. We're waiting for the JFK files to come out. We're waiting for the RFK files to come out. Guys, there's too many things on the horizon right now. This is going to rock. And then we're still finding out what's happening at all of these departments. And don't forget, and don't be, I mean, all we need right now is for them to say, like, yeah, aliens are here. Like, they've been here. They've always been here. Like, what do you mean they've always been here? Like, they've been here for like 200 million years. Like, they were always here. They've been, like, living amongst us and monitoring us. Yeah. Yeah. Like that's just, like, that's how it is. Sometimes they go for, like those UFO sightings that we see. Sometimes they just go for joyrides, and like, and they get spotted. But it's like they think to them it's like funny, because they've been here for so long. It's like and everybody knew about it. Everybody knew about it, but it's like, who's gonna believe you? That's really where we're at right now. Really, really where we're at. Like, heads are going to roll over all of the crazy stuff that's coming out, and you're seeing this right now. Women are panicking and going crazy, and like, they realize, like, bro, like, hot girl summer is over, broke girl winter is here. Okay, that's why they're like, oh, get you a provider, man, bro. No one wants to provide for you. There's a game, like, I'm so deep into PC gaming right now, and I have my gaming laptop. I have my gaming my MacBook. I have not my MacBook. I have my gaming laptop. I've got the Strix 4070 that I picked up during the Black Friday sale. It works, and it's a great device. But I actually find that a lot of games run more stable, a bit better on some games. A lot of games actually run a bit more stable on my MacBook Pro, and it's likely because of better optimization. So even though I've got a tricked out gaming laptop, and I love using it for, like, I actually find myself playing a lot of my visual novels. I find myself playing a lot of my visual novels and some other games like Slime Rancher right on my MacBook. As I work on my MacBook, and for me, it's like I've been playing these games. Some of these like dating games, stuff like that. You're like angry, you play dating games. Well, they're fun. It's like you have a waifu, you have all. It's whatever you like. It's like, it's so cool, and it's like there's like this one game that I'm playing right now. I think it's called like I think it's like acting lessons or something, and the game is pretty interesting. It has kind of like an adult theme to it, but it has an incredible story, and it's like there's like all of these hardships that go up and down. It is so heartbreaking. Like, oh my gosh, the game is so amazing. And it's like, in the game, I don't want to spoil it, but like in the game, you basically meet this girl, and you guys have this thing that happens between you, and she ends up living with you. Like she gets kicked out of her place and she needs a place to stay. And I'm like thinking to myself, yeah, this would like in the past something like this could happen, but today most men would never take a woman into their home because they know exactly what it's about. On one hand, you're like, oh, maybe she's gonna stay with me and like she'll be my girlfriend. The reality is that she's just basically going to bum off you, and you're going to be the simp subsidizing her living. And then also you're opening yourself up to potential claims of you know things, unwanted things happening while she's there. So most men would not tolerate it today. It's like these types of relationships that would happen in the past, they're becoming literally that, a thing of the past, where most men will not even waste time with a relationship, or let alone trying to help a woman, you know, who's facing poverty or destitution. Like in the game, she basically lost most of her stuff. Like her landlord put all of her stuff out, and she didn't even have like clothing. And the character in the game has had to like take her shopping and buy her stuff, like buy her clothing and stuff. And it costs like $1,600. And I'm like, what the hell? Like that was like, just to be clear, that was like one of the first signs of just how women operate. Like what she took him to like this place to go and buy clothing. Like, bro, you're broke, you have nothing, and you need to be taken care of. And you want to go to like a high end place, like whatever. Yeah, have you ever heard of Walmart, sis? Like this is what, so it's like modern men are like, never, like this is not going to happen again. And that's exactly something that a woman would do. She's like, I have no place to live, I don't have any clothes. Okay, but oh, you'll help me out. Okay, you'll take me clothes shopping. Okay, instead of going to Walmart, she's taking you to these expensive stores. Like, bro, you're not even Burlington's, bro. Like, come on. No. So it's like you realize that this is just a perfect example of why men are done. Most 90% of men have stopped dating, having relationships with women. They're no longer dating, marrying, having relationships. And then even the 5%, of men that are undesirable, that are still undesirable to women, that are still dating them, they're stressed out. They're tired. They're tired. A lot of these, the simp economy is collapsing. I have a lot of simps. Some of them are now repenting. Others they don't want to repent, but they're done with simping. I mean, they'll go overseas and simp, but they're done with simping in America. They're tired. They're tired. The simp economy is collapsing, and what's left of it is moving overseas. And modern women don't realize that platforms like OnlyFools and LonelyFans are going to go away, and they're going to find themselves between a rock and a hard place, because they basically took the V, they dipped it in gold, and then said, worship me. And God allowed them to rise to the highest God allowed them to rise to the highest mountain so they could fall from the highest peak and really experience what life is about. And because they haven't gone through any suffering, real suffering in life, they're not going to know how to deal with suffering when it arrives now. And they're going to basically it's going to basically be like, I think, kind of like the children of Israel, because they basically they said, like, I'm a God, worship me. And now they're going to find out what God they really serve. And I kneel before God. I humble myself before God. Most women don't, and they're gonna act like, oh, God, why didn't you send a man? Here's something very interesting for you. If a woman is basically like, you need to bring all of this money to the relationship and do this and this and this for me to love you, she never loved you. Okay, it was just always about utility and nothing more. And when it comes down to it, the woman is planning her exit. She's planning her divorce before she plans her wedding. She's planning the exit of the relationship before she even plans the entrance. All right, how she's going to make out like a bandit. Y'all need to wake the heck up. Y'all should be investing in crypto, not in relationships. Not in relationships, or relation SHITs, as some of y'all like to call them. Women put themselves between a rock and a hard place, and now they're going to basically have to go and hang out with Yogi and Boo Boo in the woods. And like I said, Yogi and Boo Boo are going to be eating a lot more than picnic baskets. One of the great things about the academy is we actually have this massive chat network over in the academy. So students in the crypto academy, they talk with one another, they share ideas for trading coins. It's an incredible community. It's like I said, it's a great community. It's extremely affordable. You will not find any academy more affordable that's legit than Angry's Crypto Academy. And like, I have this meme that I've showed you guys a few times, dinner with candles. And this is before Angry's Crypto Academy. Some simp out there, wasting his money with some woman who's making him burn his cash out, and she doesn't even have. There's no good conversation, and he's not getting anything out of it. And then after Angry's Crypto Academy, you have some guy eating from a like ramen that he microwaved, and his candles, his version of candles, angry guy's versions of candles are candlesticks, observing candlestick patterns when doing trading, getting that money. So, I mean, and again, if you want to learn how to do crypto day trading so you can replace your job or, protect yourself when the floor falls out and you don't know how you're going to survive, working only an hour a day, making hundreds of dollars a day, just doing crypto day trading, you can actually, check out the crypto day trading blueprint for dummies. It's available in the academy for our bootcamp members. And like I said, right now we still have a secret sale going on. So if you missed out on the Super Bowl sale, you can actually go over there and check out the secret sale that's going on. It's going to end very, very soon. So if hopefully by the time you see this video, you're able to go and take advantage of it, because it is ending shortly. But we have it up there just for people who are like, oh my gosh, I missed it. Now we got you covered, bro. But yeah, guys, this is the reality modern women are in. They said that, guys, we don't want you, guys, we don't need you, we'd rather the bear. And now they're going to have to go live in the woods with Yogi and Boo Boo. And let's see how they like that. Let me know your thoughts about everything we discussed here. The rent is due and women are looking for men to save them. And when the crisis is full blown, this time around, women are going to say, men help, and men are just going to whisper no. Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.